Welcome. This is Melinda Barlow, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher. And I have had several emails, several posts on YouTube. Where are you? What's going on? I've had some technical difficulties. And so the posts have changed a little bit. I'm hoping I'm getting back on track with the technical difficulties. It can just happen. And I apologize. I really didn't realize how many super fans I have out there that miss me, and it made me feel really good. So today is lesson number 2 from the primer book, and I'm going to show you the primer. This is the primer from Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas, the founders of Zentangle, and it's available in a soft copy from my store. And there's a link in the description below, and it's a great price. It's usually been quite expensive, but now that they have the soft cover, we have a much better price. And in the US you get free shipping, so that's even another great plus. So we're going to do lesson 2, and you can see that I'm going to teach 3 different tangles today and give you some variations. The tangles that we're going to talk about today are some of my favorites. Of course, I say that all the time. Shattuck I use all the time in different ways. Jetties, I love circles, so all my class always says, hey, yeah, jetties, circles are one of her favorite. And Bales is just a great, versatile tangle. So here's some samples. This one is not quite finished. I did it in class, and I didn't finish it, but this one I finished. We've got some shading done. So some things that we're going to learn today or talk about is just the versatility and different ways that you can tangle and use your tangles. I need to sharpen my pencil. I'm back. I've sharpened my pencil, and this is a very soft leaded pencil, and I'm going to put some dots in the corners. And for those beginners, that's a really good beginning thing. And I think I'm going to change over and go to my, I think the lighting's just a tad better if I go on white on white. And now I'm going to put a border. And in class, I always give it a little bit of a jiggle, because some people say, oh, I don't have a steady hand, I can't make a straight line, and they want straight lines. I purposely don't do straight lines just because. So now we're going to divide this off with our string, and I'm just going to put a line down through the center. Let me make that just a little darker so you can see it. Again, I'm using my pencil, and then I'm going to put a couple more lines, and I'm going to leave a big space because we're going to talk about what you can do in a big space. And now I'm going to transfer over to my pen. And I don't know if this video, if it's too long, it will be divided into part 1 and part 2. So I'm going to kind of watch the time. If it gets too long, we'll do part 1, part 2. But the first tangle we're going to do is Shattuck. And I'm just going to draw right on my line, and then I'm going to echo that line. Then I'm going to do the same here, right on that pencil line, and then I'm going to echo that pencil line. So if you look up Shattuck, you'll see that it's done usually between a couple of lines. And Shattuck's kind of a fun one. You can go from either end. And I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to draw a line that comes down kind of diagonally from that corner. And then I'm going to aura that, or just repeat. And I'm just going to go part way because I want to have it like it was coming from another direction. So I should have started in a little different spot. Then I'm going to rotate my tile, and I'm going to come from that corner, and I'm going to aura, or just repeat. I call it echo that. Rotate my tile to the most comfortable position. Rotate. And you can see my lines have a little bit of a curve, but they can be straight or they can have more of a curve. It all just depends on what your fancy is, what you like. I really like curves, and so I will do lots of curves. And you try to make sure on Shattuck that your lines are equal distance apart so that they have an equal distance. Let me come in just a little closer so you can see. But I rotate my tile for each one. Don't want to go past that little line that I did with my pencil. And then this last one, I'm going to come from that direction because I'm not sure where. I'm going to come back up here to this top one, and I'm going to just finish it off. And there we have Shattuck one way. Now you can change Shattuck a little, and we can have it go in our lines. I'm just going to think of this as the little lines in Shattuck, and instead of going horizontal, we're going to do a little vertical. And so now we're going to start again, and I'm going to start with the very center, very end, and work my way out. And then I'm going to come back this way and work my way back up, and this one out. So we're really doing Shattuck the same way. So you can start in a corner and work your way out. Or you can start and work your way towards the corner. And you can see how you get a little bit different look. Shattuck can be done in a lot of places, going lots of different directions. And so there we have Shattuck two different ways. And another thing we can do to Shattuck is that we can stripe it. If you have the book primer, it gives you lots of ideas, but I'm just going to show you how you can make drama within this tangle. So I'm just going to start at my largest portion. Let's come in a little closer. And I'm going to just fill it in. And I'm going to leave a little bit of highlight or sparkle. And you can see that it's not square. It's not round. I just leave a little jagged edge. I like the sparkle to have a little bit more character so that they don't ever look alike. And then I'm skipping, so I'm just going to stripe my Shattuck. And I need to go back in there, and when you're really close, you get a close view, you might think, oh, that doesn't look all that good, but when you back up and look at it, it has a different look. So sometimes it worries me when I do a really close up, because I think, oh, that's gonna look bad. And so let me back out, and it will look better if you're not looking so close. So I'm gonna go ahead and stripe these like I did, like I was working on here. I was striping them, and that will give this particular tangle some drama. And the reason I start at the wide end is I don't know how many stripes I've got in here. If I start here at this wide end, I know that I'll have a black one. I don't want to end up with a white at that end. So if I start here, I know I will have black, and then black, and then black, black, black. If I would have started here at the bottom, I would have ended up with a white. If I'd have started at that tip, this last row would have been white, and that wouldn't have looked good. So I always, when I stripe, I think about how I'm going to stripe something, and do I want a black stripe or a white stripe where I want those to end up. So that's why I make sure that I start at that one end. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill these in. Actually, I think I'm going to stop here and go on to something, another tangle, because it looks like this is going to be too long of a video if I don't. So our next tangle is going to be jetties, and I'm just going to put a few jetties here and here. And jetties are one of my favorite because you can add a lot of personality to jetties. I think that of them as peas. So draw them about the size of a pea in a pod. You don't want them to be too small, and you don't want them to be, you know, and they don't have to be round. And I'm going to put even some small ones in here. But then I'm going to put some down here in this corner, and they can kind of bump up to each other. If they bump up on the edge, you can just have them like they're going underneath. I think that's all the jetties I'm going to do in that corner. So I'm going to come back here, and with a jetty you want to give it a little stripe. I like to give it a little curve line down through the center, then another one, and then we're going to color it in, and then put a little aura on the sides of it. And I rotate my tile so all those little stripes aren't going the same direction. And I also gave them a little sparkle. Sometimes if I have a really small one, I don't put lines on the side. I just put that line in the center, and that's it. Let me scan out again. And I'm going to do these little jetties. Aura those sides, rotate that tile. And if those little round circles aren't round, don't worry. They don't have to be. So now we have our little jetties. Now to add drama to these two spaces, we're going to color in behind. So I'm just going to look at the behind those jetties, the space behind, and blacken in that area. Leave this, and I'm not going to put the drama behind because, oops, sorry, I make it all dizzy by knocking my camera. This last willow part, I am going to do Shattuck. Excuse me, Bales. I almost forgot which one I'm doing. And so I'm just going to start out, and I'm going to do a grid pattern. And if you ever have a great big area that you want to do, gridding it off is great. And you can see that I've gridded off, and I haven't gridded this part. Now I'm going to come this other direction, and I'm going to grid, and I want them to be square. And you notice I came all the way over into where my bales were. So it looks like if I would have had a line right down through there on my jetties, on the bales, and then I need one. It looks like I need one more right here to kind of make it, but I don't go past my border line. And now we're going to just put a arch piece out, and I have to imagine where that would end. One more here. Now I rotate my tile, and I do the same on these. And I like my ink to kind of fill up in that center, so I start right in that center and draw down. It gives it a little heavier ink. And I like that look. Oh, I forgot one. I probably could have put one right there. Now I need one more. I am going to come right here on this end, and I'm going to put just a half a loop. So now I have, it looks like I have Bales done, and it looks like it's kind of underneath the other things. Now Bales also, we want to come in the center of this and put an aura. So we just kind of put a square in the center. That's one way. You could add something else in the center. So it now looks like my jetties are just right up underneath. So now I can come in here and I'm going to blacken behind on my jetties. So I'm just going to come in, blacken in that space behind to give that a little bit of drama. And now we have a little bit of drama on that end. I could go ahead and finish these, and then we're going to do some shading. And now we have it all striped. So now we can do a little shading. So I'm using a very soft lead because it shows up really well on camera. And I'm just going to put a little graphite right here where you might not have attached real well. I have some spaces. It's just a good spot to shade. And then I'm going to take my shading stump and I'm going to blend. And then I can also take and run my graphite right down along this edge and this edge. And then blend it out. So we get a little drama, it kind of curves that line. And then I'm going to just color in. I'm going to put a little graphite on the inside of these little squares. I'm going to show you what will happen. And I'm going to give them quite the little dark little centers so that they have that depth below. And you get a great look on that tangle. But there we have lesson 2 from the primer. And I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again and have a great day.